Hey guys, how's it going? Just me, Nesto2 here, with another video for you. And today we got yet another figure matchup. Oh boy, this is gonna be good. Alright, and in case you forgot what a figure matchup is where we bring two figures together who are based on the same character but are made by two different companies. And we match them up toe to toe and see which figure is superior. Today we'll be taking a look at Robocop. Robocop, one of my favorite characters of all time. He is a badass. On this corner we have from Mcfarlane Toys Movie Maniacs, Robocop. He was released in 2004. And on this corner we have from Neca, Robocop Spring-Loaded Holster. He was released in 2012. So there's about an 8-year difference between these two figures. We'll see how old school matches up to new school. Alright, let's get started. Starting off with accessories, we have the Mcfarlane Robocop. He comes with his handgun, of course, the Auto 9. It's sculpted pretty good. It's painted one color, of course. But actually, it's got like, it's got the, the flat black, but it also has like the glossy paint on it. Makes it look kind of shiny. It's a nice touch. Of course, it has the trigger right there. You can see it, and it looks good. Yeah. And on the bottom here, you can see the clip where I'm putting in the bullets. It's coming out. You can't put it in or anything. That's the way it is. I'm not really a fan of that, but whatever. It's there. And Mcfarlane Robocop comes with a trigger finger here. Here's his hand. It's sculpted for the gun. So you can put that in. See how that holds up. Goes in his hand and through the finger. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. That's really nice. Wow, that's awesome. I really like that. And yeah, it fits in there good. It's not gonna fall off. Nice and tight. It's good. He also comes with this base slash stand. And it's pretty cool. I like it. Of course, right here we've got like the concrete, like being on the outside in the streets maybe. Got two pegs right here for his feet. And we've got tons of detail with paint as well. Got bullets, like individual bullets everywhere. Look at those bullets. That's awesome. They're actually painted. It's great. We've got a random box right here. Got a Uzi gun right there. It's molded on. It's not coming off. Got more bullets. Another Uzi. And the trash can. Random trash can with the plastic bag over it. I don't really understand what this scene is supposed to be, because if we're doing a scene accuracy, then where the hell is this trash can in the first movie? I grew up with that movie so many times, and I don't remember seeing a trash can. This might be this reminds me of a scene in part 2 actually, so I'm not really sure what they were going for here. The peg holes are on the bottom of his feet and they go right into the stand. And of course we just nudge that in. There we go. And then Robocop is on the stand. Alex Murphy on his base here. And it looks good. Nicely detailed. It looks like a 3D image that just came out of the movie. That's awesome. I like it. That's a nice touch. And now moving on to Necas Accessories. Neca Robocop here comes also with his handgun, the Auto 9. And it looks good as well. There's actually this one's only one color. It has no glossy paint on it like the Mcfarlane one did. But nonetheless, it still looks really good. And however, there's no trigger in there. There's just nothing. Which is kind of weird. Kind of feels childish that it doesn't have it in there. Because most kid toys back in the day, they didn't have any triggers, so the finger could actually fit in perfect. But I guess they just wanted to avoid more work. I don't know. But it looks good. It has no ammo coming out, so I'm fine with that. Nice and big. It's good. Neca Robo also has the trigger finger here on his hand, sculpted specifically for the gun. So let's put it in and see how that fits. And it fits just fine, yeah. It's in there. Through the finger, it's nice and tight, it's not gonna fall off. But there is no trigger in there, but I guess you can't really tell. I guess they just thought, you can't see it. But it looks good, look at that. Looks really big, it's awesome. Neca also brings us an extra hand. You know, his right hand with the spike. You know that spike he uses to hack into computers? He's like, that's awesome. It's got all the sculpting detail just like his actual hand. It's good, nice glossy paint. There's the spike. It's really nice. And to switch hands, we just gotta swipe out the forearm. Just gotta pull out this hand. There we go, it's not too hard at all. You just place it on. However, oh, there we go. I thought it was gonna be harder than that. There it is. Robocop has his spike in his fist. It's really cool. Awesome. And comparing both handguns, here they are. We got Neca right here and Mcfarlane right here. And you can see the difference. Neca is a little bigger. Yeah. Put them like this. You can see it. It is smaller. But also I see Mcfarlane has like, you see that? Like the little holes right there. You see that through my finger? Little holes right there? Yeah, Neca does not have that. I mean, it's on there like the way it looks, but it's not see-through. Plus Neca does not have the trigger itself, but Mcfarlane does. And now we'll get into the figure's sculpt, paint, and size. Here we have Mcfarlane Robocop here. And he looks good. This figure coming out, you know, in 2004, they were ahead of their time, dude. This is awesome. Look at this. The sculpting is really nice. All the way around. It's great. Looks just like him. All the way down. Looks good. It's amazing. It's got all the sculpting detail everywhere, because Robocop is ridiculous in detail. That suit. So the way they captured it here, it looks good. He also has the little writings on here. You can actually see it says OCP Police 001. It's so small. It's awesome how they included that in there. It's also on his thigh right here. Same writing. Looks good. His shoulder pieces here, they're a little small. I thought they were a little bit bigger than this, but it's not a big deal. So sculpt wise, he's really good. He's got one fist on this side and trigger finger on the other. And you know, he's got all the sculpting right here as well. It's great. So for paint, he's all silver. It's really good. It's really impressive. But also he has this blue shading over him. It's throughout. It's like a wash or something. You can see it all over his legs right here. It kind of highlights him. I like it. All over his chest. It's crazy. However, if this is based on part 1 Robocop, which the box for Mcfarlane says, it just says Robocop, doesn't say anything else. So if we're basing this off of part 1, then he shouldn't have any blue highlights. That was part 2 and 3 as well. So in a way, it's inaccurate. But it's still appreciated. It looks good. Getting a closer look to his face. Does that look like Peter Weller to you? A little bit. Yeah. I mean, it's not perfect. But yeah, I look at it. Do I think Peter Weller? Yeah, I think it. Plus his helmet slash mask, whatever you want to call it, looks nice and slick right here above his lips. Looks natural, looks good. He's kind of sticking his stomach out, or his chest. Like he's slightly going up here, like he's trying to like just embrace like his, you know, manhood or something. His height is exactly 7 inches, maybe slightly higher, but not really. Let's bring in some figures to compare him. And here he is next to some movie figures. Here we got from Neca, Terminator 2, the T-800 from the Pescadan Escape. I can never pronounce it right. And we have from Hasbro, Star Wars 6-inch Black Series, Clone Trooper. As you can see, he's too tall for the Star Wars series, but he fits right in with Neca, even though he's from Mcfarlane. So that's good. But now he's going to be taller than all 6-inch figures. That includes Marvel Legends, DC Universe Classics, that kind of stuff. And now let's get into the articulation. Mcfarlane here has a swivel on his head, going left and right just fine. Cannot go up at all, but he can go down. Cannot do tilts though, like a ball joint. Cannot do that. Pin and socket at the shoulders, and go all the way up, all the way around, side to side a little bit, and single hinge right there for the elbow, and swivel at the forearm, right there. Same thing for both arms, which is surprising for a Mcfarlane figure, especially in the past. He was mostly, doing sculpt, not any articulation, so this is a surprise for back then. It does not have anything on the chest or the torso, but he does have waist cut right there. Ball joints at the hips right here, so you can do this. You can go up, pretty high up. You can go this far as well, this far back. Single joint hinge at the knee right there. And for the feet, the ankles, right here, they hinge. And right here, the pipes, they go up. It's awesome. I feel like his joints are kind of loose. I bought this figure loose off of eBay years ago, and he's been like this since I bought him. So I don't know if it's due to the fact that the seller, just messed around with him for so long, or maybe that's how he was. It's a factory error or something. It's like you see this? I just strike this, and shoulder goes up, and his elbow gets unbent by touching right here. Like shoulders, elbows, and hips and ankles just feel kind of loose. Like not loose the way he'll just fall down, but like I feel like they're just not as strong. It's weird. And now we're gonna focus on the sculpt paint and size of Neca. And here is Robocop. And he looks good. Looks really good actually. I think his chest might be bigger than Mcfarlane, just by a little bit. Oh, his little loops right here on his shoulders are bigger too actually. That's strange. Looks really good. It's been years later, and yet we pretty much get the same figure, I'd say, out of Neca. But what can you do with Robocop? There's not much else you can do. Mcfarlane ahead of their time, and Neca, pretty much right where they started, right where they left off, if anything. It looks good. And his paint, it's all silver. One color, plus he's got the black, and it's all glossy. But he has like this purple tint to him. Like it's not shading, but it's some kind of tinting. Like it's there. Like when you see it in the light, you can kind of tell it's kind of purplish. I guess to represent like it's the 80s, so some of the lighting when he goes in that nightclub, all these weird colors, purple and pink. I guess that's what they were going for here. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but hopefully it is. And just like Mcfarlane, Neca here has the same writing. OCP police. It's cool. And no, Neca did not forget the one on the thigh, because there it is. Same thing. It's awesome. He does have the trigger figure right here, but this hand is not a fist. It's a open hand, like completely opened. So that's strange how they went with that route. I wonder why. And his face I'd say his helmet isn't as slick as the Mcfarlane one. Like it looks good, but it looks really flat, like down here. I don't know, it looks good, but in some parts I feel like they just got done like cutting it fresh, like right now. I'm not sure if I'm getting used to it yet. I've had this figure for a while now. But yeah, look at his see his paint's already coming off on his neck there. Because when I got it out of the package, it was like this, around like this. So when I moved it, it was just like, so that little piece of paint just came off. So that sucks. So yeah, he looks good. He has all the details. He has I feel like his pipes right here, they're smaller. And for his mouth sculpt, if you're asking, does that look like Peter Weller? I'd say yes, definitely. It looks like Peter Weller. I'm trying to get him in the lighting here. There we go. Look at that mouth. That is Peter Weller, if I saw him anywhere. You know what I noticed? You can see his nose. It's crazy. He actually sculpted a tiny nose in there. It's insane. I think his mouth looks a lot better than the Mcfarlane one actually. Even though the Mcfarlane one did look good, this one looks a little more like the actual actor. Did Mcfarlane give us a nose here? Not quite, almost. I think it's there, but not quite. His height is about 7 inches, maybe right under, like not by much, but he's just about right under. Let's bring in some figures to compare him. And here he is next to the same movie figures I had earlier. Got NECA Terminator 2 T800, a Hasbro Star Wars 6-inch Black Series Clone Trooper. So Robocop here fits with yet another NECA figure, so that's good. But still, he's going to be just like the Mcfarlane. He's too tall for anything 6-inch. So both NECA and Mcfarlane are pretty much the same height. So for NECA's articulation, let's get into it. He has a ball jointed head. So you can do all kinds of movement. You can go up a little bit, you can go down, go side to side just fine. And he can do tilts, which I love. Love tilt. Anyways, pin socket at the shoulders, and these feel a lot stiffer. All these joints feel a hell of a lot stiffer than Mcfarlane. I'm not sure because he's newer, or maybe NECA actually, went an extra mile and made sure it was going to be stiff, because it's pretty stiff. Shoulders go all the way around, pin and socket, go side to side just a little bit. Single jointed hinge for the elbow. Yeah. And just like Mcfarlane, we got a swivel at the forearm. Yeah. But however, this is where we got new articulation. We have a ball joint pretty much right here in the abs. We're right above the chest, so you can go up this far. You can go down as well. And you can twist in it as well. You get the waist twist basically right there. That's good. And we get, look at this. You get this as well. That's really good. Arms are the same as the other side. Plus we have a waist twist right there. It's awesome. Hips are similar to Mcfarlane. They're on ball joints, so you can do all kinds of movements. You can go forward, go backwards, side to side slightly, not by much. And single jointed hinge on the knee, and it's ratcheted actually. Like here's one, and here's another one. So that's good actually. And hinge at the foot. It's really stiff. Look at it. Ratcheted it as well. The pipes move with it as well. It's cool. And this is where the spring-loaded holster kicks in. The gimmick? And no, it's not a kid's toy. It's an adult gimmick. Why? Because it's movie scene accuracy. So you see this button right here? You push it, and then his leg will open to reveal the gun. That's awesome. Which I don't have the gun in there, but it opens up to reveal the gun. You take it out and put it in his hand if you want. And you just close it up. Just like that. Snap it in. So here I have the gun in there. Looks cool. And it shuts like so. There you go. Gun is in his leg. It's awesome. Doesn't even look like it opens. It's fantastic. But to be honest, I'm not really a fan of the gimmick too much. Because more times than none, it's a pain in the ass to get it in there. So I mean, it's not like really annoying, like I can't do it. It just like takes like a whole minute instead of a few seconds like it should. So when it comes down to it, who is the winner? I don't know. This is a tough one. Both figures are really good. NECA has the more accurate paint to the first movie, plus it comes with the accessory of the spike of the hacking computers and the holster for the gun, plus a better sculpt on its mouth. It's awesome. Bigger gun as well. More articulation. But then again, Mcfarlane has this, this nice blue shiny paint on it, which highlights the body of the figure. One of his hands is an actual fist, so you can make it look like he's punching somebody. Comes with a base. Base looks nice, nicely detailed. Plus he has the articulation you're gonna need. I mean, you don't actually need some of the articulation NECA gave you, but it's nice that they gave it to you. But if you were just stuck with this alone, then that's already still really good. And the fact that Mcfarlane here came out in 2004, because it pretty much states that, he was ahead of his time back then, and he still holds up just fine right now. Oh man, I like them both, but I'm only going to pick one. So I'm going to pick the NECA one. When it comes to accuracy and movie action figures, it's going to be NECA here. NECA wins over Mcfarlane, not by much. Mcfarlane's still really good. He's a great action figure, but I think I'd rather have, an interchangeable hand with the spike over the actual base. Plus his face is slightly more like Peter Weller, the actor himself. The extra articulation not really counting as a win, because I don't really need it, but he does have the more accurate paint, which is appropriate for the movie. But if you were to get stuck with one of these figures, I wouldn't blame you if you got stuck with Mcfarlane, because he's still a great figure. And if you can't find NECA, I'd be like, oh well, at least you got Mcfarlane, he's a great figure as well. And also it can be the other way around, if you get NECA but not Mcfarlane, oh well, NECA's a great figure as well. So So with that, I'm gonna say Neca wins here. Not by much, but it does. What do you guys think? Which figure would you pick? Do you guys have these figures at all? Whatever it is, just leave a comment, guys. Thanks for watching.